Hey everybody, I'm back with another video from the 2019 Wachusett Chess Club A Championship. This was a game between Paul Godin and Ralph McNeilage. Um, at this point, uh, Ralph still had chances for the championship after a good early start. And there's a few spots in this game that I was wondering what the engine said. I took a different approach this time and I imported the game into Lee Chess uh, already, so you can see the game was engine description of a graph shows it was a pretty even game. Uh, Paul led in the late middle game. Ralph led in the end game, according to Stockfish, but I have a few places where I wanted to see what the engine said in terms of maybe some variation. So let's get to that. So starts off as a symmetrical English. I think I remember saying in the notes that somewhere around here or here, this was a very rare time that there were very few games, maybe 6 games in the database, um, and that black usually was doing better than white. So let's keep going. The first place I want to check out is after black's 16th move. Now at this point, I kind of like white's position. Looks a little bit Benoni-ish with these pawns, or maybe one of the King's Indian structures. You note that white got his rook off of the long diagonal, which was scoped by the bishop, and black did the same. So okay. So I think here I was wondering if rather than the game move bishop f5, which is slightly better for white, I wondered about well, let's put the engine on. Rook e8, maybe b3, then bishop f5, rook to c1, and then a5. Try to maybe make this a bit of a minority attack and keep that b3 pawn backward. So the engine says it's roughly even with some chances for black to get the smallest of advantages, but compared to the game, it was a little bit towards white's advantage. Really, this is still a coin flip. So then let's play through. One thing that I always wondered through the game was there a point where an exchange sacrifice made sense? But I think it might have been a little later that I was thinking of it. You can see maybe with this queen move, white has some ideas of maybe covering the queen side and invading on the king side. I think it's a pretty good move. Not everything has to show up in an engine score. So, yeah, engine didn't really like that, but let's play on. Seems to be sort of trending. You can see we're right here in the peak of Paul's advantage. I'm looking for white's 29th move. So yeah. So right here, what am I thinking? I wonder if rook takes and then like this is anything. Nope. So it's It's going to cost black maybe this other pawn, but if that were to happen, then we have some trouble holding on to f2. And in that sense, it probably was not a good idea to make the exchange sacrifice. So back to 29 and onward to move 38. I wrote that this was a lot of very subtle maneuvering, and Engine didn't really like this move. Thinks instead of bishop back, potentially trying to set up a mate threat, that it's time to take a little space on the king side. Maybe get a pawn to h5, loosen up black's king side pawns. Yeah, f4, that's interesting. Okay, so, right. Yeah, I don't know. This is a study in itself. Ralph had played several excellent rook end games. Paul certainly can. I think I'm going to leave it here. Just wanted to check out a couple of spots that were interesting in the middle game and see what the engine thought. So there you go. I'll be back with another one in the near future. Thank you.